Hey, welcome to Countdown to Bliss. We are right at the 60-day window to go, and we're doing videos. From here on out, we're going to release some quick little videos to share information. We have so much information to share for what's left. We're also hoping to meet some of the event organizers for the events that are being planned. The goal being, obviously, we want to build excitement as we get closer to the sail date, but then also for you to be able to get to know the people that are putting on the events on our sailing. Speaking of getting to know people, next to me, this is Sue. Say hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
And we're trying to arrange this mad chaos that is the inaugural sailing of the Norwegian Bliss.
Exciting.
So today we're just going to go through some quick listing of the events. But before we do that, a couple of housekeeping issues. Number one, commemorative pins. Orders for pins shut down last Saturday. So you either have them on order or you don't. Kirsten sent an email to everybody that has a pin on order. And a couple of things that she covered in that email was the how to pay for it. Now, this is important. One of the issues for paying for the pins is through PayPal to Kirsten before you get on board.
Friends and family.
Yes, friends and family. If you're going to pay via PayPal, there are two options for PayPal. One is for friends and family, where you don't pay a fee. And the other issue is to pay for goods and services. There's a fee for using that feature. If you want to pay Kirsten using the goods and services feature, you are responsible for adding the fee for the amount to the payment to Kirsten. The other item that she covered in the email is where to pick them up once on board. Mm-hmm. There's going to be two primary times that you can pick them up. One is during the Sail Away celebration in Southampton, which is taking place deck 15 forward in the observation lounge. And then on day 2, just prior to the meet and greet at the Sellers Wine Bar. Before the meet and greet, she's going to be set up there, I think, for 45 minutes to an hour beforehand, and you can pick them up then. The other item of maintenance before we get into the event listing, the website, norwegianlive.com. We set this up as a central place where you can register, keep track of what you've registered for, and certainly to get in touch with us if there's any change in any of the information you provided. Keep in mind, this has been a moving target up to this point. We're just now getting to the point where we're locking in some of the venues with Norwegian where they're telling us where these events are going to take place. As part of that process, we've had to shift the dates around for some of these events. Some of them have moved off by a couple days. Your best source of information is always going to be on that website. If you're looking at something on Cruise Critic within the roll call or within Facebook, keep in mind it may be an old post. As soon as we get a new date or time, or once we get a venue assigned, we are updating the event listing on norwegianlive.com. I keep getting the question, what have I signed up for? If you're not aware, you can go to norwegianlive.com, and if you click on the roll call button and then click to actually view the roll call, it'll show you every single event that you've signed up for. There's also a column. This is important for requesting an invitation. If when you registered, you requested an invitation, your room number will be listed there. The question of once you're on board, how do we know what's going on and what time these events are? Two ways. Number one, if you requested an invitation, we will on day 1 send an invitation to your room, which lists every single event, the date, the time, and where it takes place.
That you have signed up for.
No, it's going to be for all events.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you to know what you signed up for and to show up for it. That same listing with up-to-date, accurate information once we board is going to be available at the meet and greet. We're going to have it as a handout form. You can pick up that piece of paper. So if you didn't request an invitation, you can still get that same information at the meet and greet. Am I missing anything, Sue? Before we get into events?
Events. Number 1.
Go for it. What are we starting with?
That is pre-cruise. It's on the 20th in Southampton. It's a pub gathering at the Duke of Wellington, which has been kind of long in process of getting things nailed down. But you'll be better versed at explaining this.
Okay. So it's being hosted by Sue. Her cruise critic name is...
Not me.
There's so many Sues on the sail.
So many.
But A. Subaru and her daughter Audrey are hosting the pub gathering at the Duke of Wellington. Here's the deal. As soon as I throw my information on the floor, we have a private room upstairs at the Duke for 25 guests. It only supports 25 guests. In working with the Duke of Wellington, they have allowed us to do 3 different seatings in the private upstairs. We have to work around their times. The 3 times that are available for seating, the latest you can go is 6:30.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm going to grab my papers. You read it
Okay.
off.
So the first seating is 3:30. There's also a 5 p.m. and a 6:30. So
the point is there are options. You know, if nobody wants to do other than 6:30 or 5, that's fine. We can fill it up, but there's options. If you don't want to dine upstairs in the private dining room, certainly show up whenever you want to. I'm sure all of us that are either dining at a specific time, we're still going to be hanging out at the bar downstairs. If you don't care about dining with people that are on our sailing, feel free to show up and put your name in, and you can sit downstairs and, you know, dine with the masses. The point is, we wanted to give the option. There's an option of dining together of people that are just on our sailing, and it's upstairs in the private dining room. And we're going to hand out the assignments first come, first serve. So once you sign up, if you go to norwegianlive.com, click on the link. I'm going to put it right there on the front page to RSVP for the pub gathering. You can put your preferences down for when you want to seat. You have to put down your names, your email address, and your entree selections. We have 4 entrees available in the upstairs private dining. Am I missing any piece of that?
Well, I mean, are you going to make it like 3 options? What's your first choice? Is your
Yep,
first
there's
choice?
3 preferences.
Okay,
You can put down.
So you could say my first choice is 6:30, my second choice is 5.
And even if you only have one choice, you can put down that you have no preference for second and third. If you're getting into Southampton at 5 o'clock and you can only make the 6:30, just put down the one preference, and we'll take care of it.
Okay.
As we get closer, we're going to start publishing both on Cruise Critic and over on Facebook. We'll publish the listing of who's seating at each of the dining times.
Okay.
The entree choices, we have 4. We know the fish and chips was the big one. That's option number 1. There's also a bangers and mash option, and then there are 2 vegetarian options. Go ahead. You want our first event once we get on board?
Okay, once we are on the ship, day 1, April 21st, is the sail away party in the observation lounge. That's deck 15 forward.
Yeah, and that's as soon as the muster drill is over, we're going to meet up in the observation lounge. And weather permitting, I think we have 3 different sail away parties. We're always going to have an outside option as well, and we'll announce it as we get closer where the outside option will be.
No need to RSVP for that. Everybody's just going to show up.
Yep. Go ahead. Day 2.
Day 2, April 22nd, is the meet and greet, 11 a.m. We don't know where this is going to be yet. You'll update it on the website.
Correct. So right now, Norwegian has our listing for, I think we're up to like 10 events. They have our request. They've worked with us as far as working out the dates and the time. It's now with the onboard team to figure out where they're actually going to put us for each of those events. So as soon as we find out, we may do a reveal video down the road here to actually announce where all these events are, but we will update the website. Always go to the website.
Okay. Day 2 also, the same day, mystery gift exchange, which is being headed up by our friend Brian Nell from South Africa. He will be giving out the room number selections at that point. It's going to be right after the meet and greet in the same venue. And apparently we have 81 staterooms so far participating.
Correct. So far 81 people, 81 rooms have committed. And we mentioned that we're going to be talking to some of the organizers. We have a plan to call Brian in the next few days, and we're going to release another video. We're going to have a quick chat with him about how the whole event works.
All the details.
And there's 2 pieces to it. There's the event immediately following the meet and greet, and there's one later in the week as far as the reveal.
Okay. So, again, same day, day 2, April 22nd, the slot pull, which is going to be at the Skyline Bar, Deck 7 midship. It's at 2 p.m., and there are over 150 participants for this.
Yeah. So a few people have offered to help out with the slot pull. As soon as we get on board, we're going to figure out this is not going to be a 3-hour event with 150 people. We're going to figure out how to make it as quick and as efficient as possible.
Okay.
So no worry about that. Okay. And then going on to day 3, cabin crawl. Go for it.
Cabin crawl, 2 p.m. Meeting location is to be determined. There are 150 participants in this.
Yeah, no, so keep in mind, we don't have 150 people going through your room. Thankfully, we've had 35 people that have volunteered to show their rooms. So we're going to divide up. We're going to try and get a good sampling for each group. So we're going to have a location that we meet at. We're going to list off the people that are showing their rooms, and then we're going to break up into groups, and we're going to go off. We're aiming for maybe 20 to 30 people per group going through each room. And obviously, you're only going to show your room if you're in that group. We're not opening up your room to other people. You're going to be present, small groups. That's the goal. Go on. Next event.
Day 4, LCR dice game at 2 p.m. Organized by Michael, a.k.a. Ship Shape. And this is the first of 2 during the week, this game. It's going to be one on day 4, which is today, and then again on day 11. I was going
to say, he might have sign-up sheets at the meet and greet for this. Our goal with when we did the room request through Norwegian is that we're going to have basically overflow. Michael wants it set up where it's going to have one large circle of tables. It may take place in a conference room. If it does, if they have a secondary conference room, we may end up making this like 2 big events instead of one gigantic event. So that's more details to come on that. Go ahead. Next event.
Day 5, Punta del Gala Sail Away. And it's another informal gathering on in the observation lounge, deck 15 forward. If it's nice, weather permitting, it might be outside.
Yep. Day 6, we have a pub crawl at 2 p.m., and this has the potential of being absolutely ridiculous. We have 180 participants in this. It is being hosted by Dan, cruise critic named Cliffy97. We will have an initial meeting location outside of one of the bars, and we're going to be talking to Dan in probably a week and a half. We're going to release a video discussing what his plan is to handle 180 people on this pub crawl. Next event, go.
Okay. Ooh, Day 7, Chocolates of the World, 2 p.m. It is organized by Tammy, a.k.a. Cruise Mama, and she's done this before. She said that it's very popular.
Everybody that's done this before, they rave about it. It's supposed to be a great event. It'll be our first time. Keep in mind, if you sign up for this, you have committed to bring chocolate from your hometown, something that represents where you're from. So don't forget, if you signed up, make sure that you actually bring the chocolates on board with you.
Yes, yes. Okay, Day 8 is the Mystery Gift Exchange Reveal event at 2 p.m. Again, it will be organized by Brian from South Africa, and we will talk to him more in a future video.
Yep, sure enough. Day 8, brand new event. We have Oktoberfest. This was just introduced in the past week. It's being organized by Connie, cruise critic named Connie T. Again, location to be determined. There's going to be German music. I'm assuming there's going to be beer. Maybe we'll try and get some food selections once we're on board. But more details to come on that, including the venue. No need to RSVP. It's going to be in a public space. Just show up, and we'll have the specifics announced on the invitations.
Okay. Next day, Day 9, is the scavenger hunt, which has been given to me, this Sue, and I'm a little stressed about it. But we're going to call it the Running of the Bliss, and it's sponsored by our friends over at Cruise Critic.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Cruise Critic stepped up, and they asked us for our sailing if they could sponsor an event. So they are sponsoring. This is going to be the Cruise Critic Running of the Bliss, brand new event. It's not going to be our typical scavenger hunt. We're going to try and make this big extravaganza where you're going to be going out on the ship to do things, coming back. There's going to be elimination as it goes on. It's going to get down to a few teams at the end. There's obviously going to be an entourage of people that dropped out along the way to be cheering on the winners at the end. So more details to come on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of this as something akin to, what is it?
Amazing Race. Amazing Race.
Love it. Exciting. Okay. Day 10, Sail Away Gathering from Halifax.
Same old, informal gathering. We're going to have 2 places. If the weather is poor, we'll be inside of the observation lounge. If weather is good, we'll have an outside spot as well.
Okay. Day 11, again, Mike, Shipshape. He's going to be doing that LCR at 2 p.m., location to be determined.
And our last event. We just, in a matter of 10, 12 minutes, we just talked through our entire cruise. It's sad. We're towards the end. Our last event is a farewell dinner that's being put on by Michelle. I'm not sure if I know Michelle's cruise critic name. It's something like Michelle. It's something in there. But location's not yet to be determined. It's going to be at one of the main dining rooms, I imagine. And I believe Michelle is going to have sign-up sheets at the meet and greet to sign up for it. And she's going to be making arrangements once on board as far as the special arrangements for that special meal. But that is it. That is our first video. That is a listing of the events. We covered the pins. We covered the website. If you need to make a modification after hearing some of these events, you want to change what you're registered for, sign up for something new, go to Norwegian Live, click on the roll call to review what you already signed up for, click on the contact us, send me a message. It's, I try to keep track both on Cruise Critic, through Facebook, through email, as far as people communicating with me. Once a week, I go through any of the messages coming in from Norwegian Live, and I just update every single thing in the roll call for what requests are. So that's the best way to contact me for a change. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think
Sue's
so.
yawning, so it's
I'm
time to
tired
go.
already.
That's it. That's the end of the first video. As I said, we are talking in a few days to Brian, so expect within the next week we're going to release a new video to hear all the details of the mystery gift exchange.
Whoop, whoop.
But until then, we are counting down to bliss. Less than 60 days to go. Can't wait to meet everybody on board. Is that it?
That's it.
Bye, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.